What are you doing? Do you ever feel pressured that you need to be a different way than you are? Maybe it's coming from social media or people in your life or even from within yourself. Do you find yourself feeling kind of unhappy? Well, me too, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. If you find yourself relating to this, it would be great if you subscribed and follow along, because we're all about learning to simplify our life. There's some decluttering, but it's a bigger picture than that because we want to be happy. We're going to talk about some of the challenges that I have, not in a complainy way. I don't want to complain because I am blessed in most ways. But just to be real with you, I do have a chronic illness. I do have some family members that are have ADD, and I'm going to explain some of the challenges that come along with that and what it's been teaching me in my own life and how I'm actually being more thoughtful and am trying to learn more about it. And just where we are, last week I fell down the stairs and still having some like rib pains, or because at one point I bounced off a stair right on my rib. And so I've been doing things more the last couple of days, but I do have the pain here in the rib. I broke my finger in this really weird way. I overextended it, and when that happens, it can be your ligament. I believe it's your ligament, or if your ligament's really strong, it can pull off a piece of the bone, which is what I had happen to me. And so I actually need to use it, and I have to practice these exercises. So I'm supposed to do everything that I feel like I can do. I have been reassured by the doctor that that won't hurt it, can't make it worse, to do things, which is encouraging to me. And so one of the reasons I'm back to doing more is because of that. So you will see this sister finger on my hand for a very long time, because sometimes this injury can take 9-12 months before it's completely better. I have already been seeing some improvement since my fingers have been sistered together and I'm doing those exercises. You're going to learn a little bit more about me, and I'm going to share the things I'm learning because I'm hoping that they'll help you. If no other reason, then maybe you'll know I'm not alone. I'm not alone. Somebody else has some of these thoughts and challenges too. If you don't know, if you're new to my channel, I have fibromyalgia. I've had it since 1989, I believe, very long time. I mostly know how to handle it, but there are ups and downs. I have to pace myself. And when I do a big project, like in my last video I showed you where I cleaned out this big closet, I had to paint it, painted all the trim in the room. This is my laundry room, and I wallpapered it. Even though I paced that out, I paid for it the next week where I couldn't do much of anything. So there are a lot of people out there that have a chronic illness that are dealing with it. I'm certainly not alone, and I'm certainly not alone having fibromyalgia. If you have a chronic illness and you have some of these challenges, and maybe you have some advice that you could share with me or all of us, or just to say, hey, I get it, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. The big journey this year and in the future, I renamed my channel Towards a Simple Life because I really do have to simplify my life, but I still want to do things. I still just long to do things, to paint and to wallpaper, to get everything decluttered. I have some challenges with that I'm going to describe later in this video, just to get things more orderly. But I have some personal challenges. I have some family challenges with that, which I think other people might have that, and maybe you even face some of these challenges as well. Let's get going, and I'll tell you where I am right now. I have to sleep in my recliner because I have reflux and I have some sleep apnea. If I sleep in a recliner, then I do better. And I have just replaced this, but my replacement chair is downstairs. I've been up this morning. I've unmade my chair. I kind of loaded up with blankets and get myself comfortable, and then in the morning I have to take all my blankets off. So I've already done that. I've already taken my shower, and I've done my prayer and my scripture reading, and I did my meditation, so I'm good with that. I've done a little bit of straightening up. I am one of those people that if you don't see it, it doesn't exist, which then conflicts with my desire to have everything neat and tidy. So I'm always trying to come up with this balance. Do you deal with that, or is that just me? So I try to come up with systems to deal with that. So this is a book that I have been reading for a while. It is so good, by the way. I can't recommend this highly enough. Slow Growth Equals Strong Roots by Marantz. It has some chapters that I really relate to, like, do you have to do things? Do you have to create things and really accomplish things to be worth something? Like this chapter, suddenly it feels safer to create nothing than to create failure. And then she starts this with the scripture, for the righteous fall 7 times and rises again, but the wicked stumble in times of calamity. And then she says, most of us are so afraid of failing that we never ever start. There, I said it. Now we can deal with it. The irony for overachievers, of course, who normally feel pretty miserable and worthless unless we're out there, achieving, is that when we're faced with the prospect of failure, it suddenly feels safer for us to do nothing than to risk coming up short. If you have a YouTube channel, at least for me, I constantly am dealing with that. Because on one hand, there's a kind of video that you could make where you give lists of things and you're teaching things that get more views, but then when I do that kind of video, then I get unhappier and I just get unhappy. I am finally starting to come to the idea that I want to be really helpful and relatable. I think one of the things on YouTube right now is that you have all of these channels that are faceless channels that are basically AI. The scripts are being written by AI, the voices are AI, and I know for me, when I come across one of those channels, I just get out of there. I really want to watch human beings, and I like to watch people do things and accomplish things and maybe talk about the books they're reading or the things they're doing, because I want to make that human connection. And my favorite channels are when I really relate or enjoy that person, even if their life is very different than mine, because they're human. I feel like I need to be really careful because I don't want my channel to feel like it's AI. I want to be helpful to you. It's really important for me to be helpful to you or feel like you're getting something out of the channel, even if you're just relating or it's inspiring you or you're just plain enjoying watching me. But I have to enjoy what I'm doing, or I just wasn't enjoying it. It wasn't putting out as many videos, and it was just feeling so hard. The idea that I had to do all this research and write these in scripts that were taking me 2 days, just not showing you some of the things that I'm doing and some of the challenges I'm having. I've had this time to just sit here and think, because I had a week where I couldn't do anything after I did the laundry room. And then I fell down the stairs, which is just throwing me off again. Once again, I came extremely close to quitting YouTube. There are probably people that have dropped off this video already because I haven't shown a lot of action yet. But I came really close once again to quitting YouTube. Just thinking, I can't do this. This is taking too much out of my life. I'm not happy with it. I am not having fun anymore. In order for me to continue with YouTube, I have to make a mind shift where certain things don't matter to me anymore, that I can't let them affect me anymore. And the understanding and the hope that people that will come along that relate to me or that enjoy watching me, that maybe see themselves in me or want to learn from me or just enjoy seeing someone live a different life, will find me and enjoy me and be grateful for those people and not worry. In fact, even think, if I have a video that goes too big, then I'm actually kind of in danger, because maybe people will subscribe to my channel that don't really relate to me. And I've come to the understanding that maybe is not a good thing for me to have that happen. That's why I say, if you relate to any of this and you are of the mindset of wanting to simplify your life and enjoy your life better, and maybe you're going through this mind shift to yourselves and you want to do some decluttering, but you don't really see yourself decluttering in the way that these decluttering focused channels are, and I think my channel was getting in danger of that's what it was and all I was talking about, which was then making me feel just so much pressure that I had to do it a certain way. My home had to end up being a certain way. And I would have people make certain comments where they were critical of me, that if I was keeping too much stuff, because in their mind, somebody who's doing a decluttering video needs to be clearing out things in a very severe way and getting down to almost nothing, which doesn't feel good to me, doesn't feel comfortable to me. And so how on earth was I going to deal with that and those challenges? And then even worrying about things about maybe I shouldn't be wearing t-shirts that have things on the front of them. I know it's just ridiculous, but I enjoy that, especially this time of year and all summer long. And I mean, I love this. It goes, let it be. Yesterday I was wearing one that had a big line on the front of it, and it said daughter of a king. And so if you've ever seen C.S. Lewis, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, then that would have a meaning to you, and you know what that shirt is talking about. So I just can't worry about that, and I can't worry about those people who won't like me because I believe in Jesus Christ, right? I mean, this is who I am. This is my life. I have pictures of Christ. I read the scriptures, and I try to live my life that way while accepting people and loving people, because I believe that's part of what a follower of Christ does. So that's kind of where I've been. So I've been missing because of some real physical challenges I've had, but I've also been missing because I was dealing with some of these emotional and questions about YouTube and what I was going to keep doing with YouTube and what kind of videos I could keep making that would feel good to me and happy to me and that I would enjoy doing while still making videos that are meaningful to you, because I don't want to just make videos that I'm enjoying and you won't enjoy. That's like foolish. Okay, so I've told you where I am, and I told you that I have to see things, so I'm going to show you a few things. This has been some of my challenge. By the way, I'm growing my hair out, and I've been going through all the stages of growing my hair out, and sometimes I just absolutely hate the way it looks. When my hair gets down about chin length, then I'm going to cut it one length and just have the bangs up. So if you watch me and you see like all these weird haircuts and stuff happening, and sometimes my hair looks weird, that's why. Patience. Growing your hair out requires patience. And I can never figure out what I'm doing here. First, I had these things in a big stack in my nightstand, which was actually felt better to me, but I thought, well, that's kind of messy. Let me try bringing it with my basket. I'm reading these two books, Healing Your Lost Child, and this is the workbook that goes with it. YouTube has brought some of those old feelings up. I need to heal those things. It wasn't anything in my family particularly. It was all things that happened to me in school and socially, but they left some real marks on me. I've been reading this book for a long time. I keep forgetting about it, but look at how beautiful this is. I bought this about a year ago. I came across this recipe for cream scones with currants, and I wanted to make them, so I ordered the dried currants from Amazon, and I've got to go down and make those before I continue reading the book. I was going to get going on my planner again, and I've realized, because I was using this for years, and then I realized this is putting too much pressure on me to do something every day, and if I don't do it every day, then I feel guilty. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. And it's just a notebook that I write random things in it, and sometimes I write down video ideas. These are some magazines I'm working my way through. And then down here, I have, there's a notebook I could use. I forget, you see, if it's down here, I forget. Because I was looking around for a new journal, then I realized, I had started this one, and this is a pretty book. I need to do that. This is a book my friend, Dusty, who's got a channel, My Thrifted Home, sent me. This is a book. It's a beautiful book. I found it at a thrift store, written by a girl who'd gone blind. She was blind for about a year, and she wrote this journal, and it's just full of wonderful, wonderful thoughts. So I like to get this out, read this sometimes. Then I have my quad. It has all my scriptures in it. So I read that. And then I've recently got this from Amazon. Not from Amazon, from Barnes & Noble, and I'm really, 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 really enjoying it. It's called The Woman's Study Bible, and it's King James Version, which is the version I use, the version our church uses. But it's just beautiful. I had to buy the tab separately. I love this. I'm really, 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 really glad I bought that. I just have all this stuff here. If I was doing like a real strict decluttering channel, I wouldn't do that, or I would hide it so that it gave you the appearance that I'm doing it. And so I'm just realizing while I'm decluttering, I keep saying I'm not a minimalist, but I'm far from a minimalist. And I don't want to be a minimalist. I don't want the pressure of being a minimalist. I just want to slim down some of my things that I don't use or I don't think I'll use without any pressure to get rid of books and art supplies and electronics and different things that I really enjoy. Does that make sense to you? I guess that if you're really wanting to watch someone who's just going to get down to nothing, then I'm probably not the one to be watching. But if you want to watch someone, I feel like this is more realistic for most people. I don't know, maybe you'll just really disagree with that. I'm feeling like I need to be more honest, or honest with myself. I haven't been lying to you at all, but honest with myself. I have this basket of books, and as I keep saying, the reason I have stuff like, here's some books I have up here, is because if I can't see things, I forget about them. I mean, I know that I have them in the back of my mind, but then I forget that I'm intending to read that soon, and I've got to get over that. It's a bad habit. And I don't want to get rid of any of these things. Here's a book that I bought about slowing down. I'm not exactly sure I want to keep this yet. I've been reading it some. This is a book by that Mary Marantz. This was the first book she wrote about her life. And I am going to read this. As soon as I finish the pink one, I'm going to read this. So I want to keep it here so I remember. Now I have these cluttering and organizing books. I should be reading those, but I've got to go put them down where I know they are because I'm just not doing it. Oh, I've got some more notebooks. I just collect notebooks. So that I end up with journaling and ideas all over the place. And I've got to come up with a system where I don't have so many stinking notebooks because then I can't remember what's in the notebooks. I got this one because I've got osteoarthritis. I intend to read it. I haven't read it. And that's like these 3 books I just recently bought about acid reflux because I've had some days where it's really bad. To see if I could learn anything in there. I bought them, I haven't read them. And I got this one, The Art of Doing Nothing, which seemed like a really good idea, but I'm not getting anything out of it. So I think I'm going to go ahead and donate this one. This is a book about becoming a better YouTuber. Like, I just can't read it anymore. This is wonderful. I need to take this downstairs again. I got this at the thrift store. It's got Grandma's Favorites. And I have another one that I bought, Taste of Home, that's cookies. It's like 1,000 recipes of cookies. And they're all, ones I've tried so far are really good. And I believe I brought this up here with the intent that I was going to go through it and find some recipes that I want to make. And of course, I haven't done it yet. And it's because it's kind of getting lost and I forget about it. Then I've got this Jane Eyre. I've realized we've been slowly getting rid of almost all of our streaming because streaming has just changed. It's not like you can get Netflix anymore and see everything. You've got all of these different companies breaking out, and then you have to pay each one of them. And to get everything, again, you'd be paying cable prices. So we've been getting rid of that. I'd watch YouTube. We still have Prime. So I've been collecting videos that I really want. I love historical novels. So I've just read Jane Eyre, and I got this for $3 at the thrift store, and I'm going to watch that. If I like it, I will keep it. If not, I'll donate it back, and $3. My point in that is that I am now collecting back DVDs so that I will have movies that I like that I used to be able to easily find them on Netflix. So I didn't need to own them. And now I can't find them or watch them unless I paid $20 or something to buy them, or $6 to rent them. So I'm doing the opposite of decluttering DVDs. And that's the kind of thing, you see. I don't want that pressure that I had, that I needed to get rid of everything to be acceptable on my YouTube channel and not offend people. What I'm doing, I think, is I'm working towards owning things better. Okay, we'll go and put some things down my office here. These are the stairs I fell down and hurt myself. That was a long way. went head over heels, landed here, broke my finger, hurt my ribs. This is my office. I used to have a very successful e-commerce company. When we moved into this house, I had these custom cabinets put in, and I worked in here, well, more than 10 years, worked out of here more than 10 years. And then when we had my daughter and her girls moved in, there came a point where we needed an extra bedroom because my mother was downstairs. And so I had to give up my office, and I gave away 60% of my book collection, my lifetime books collection, which was really dramatic. I haven't missed a lot of those books, but there are some of those books I have really, really missed. That was a real sacrifice. And then just gave up my workspace. So now my son is back up in his room. I got my office back, and he is completely out of here. But my husband has just taken it over. Has started the season here. I've gone back and forth in a serious way about, should I just take out these cabinets? I would leave these bookcases and just carpet this room and maybe bring in some furniture, make it so that it could be a bedroom at any time. But then I've realized lately, no, I just want to be in here, but I need to do some real fix up. My son really damaged these cabinets. And then they're kind of orange, and I don't like that anymore. Here I've got this desk, and I had another desk over here with a bank of drawers, and then a cabinet here. We still have that bank of drawer. The cabinet that was there had to be destroyed too much. We don't have that anymore. My husband thinks he has enough of the flooring to fix the flooring in these areas, I hope. And we have the bank of drawers. So the bank of drawers will come back in here. I'm not going to have a desk in here. And I have just thought so much about what I can do in here. After doing the wallpaper in my laundry room, I love that room so much. I love doing laundry. I love going there. I love looking down the hall and seeing that wallpaper. Just makes me happy. So I want to do the same kind of thing in here. Or I'm going to just like repair that wall, but I'm going to wallpaper the whole room. And then I will paint these bottom cabinets a color that goes with the wallpaper. After we sell my mom's house, which hopefully will be before too long, then I'm going to get some new countertop because this has really been damaged. But I want to leave this open over here so that I can bring in some furniture, like a little love seat or a really comfortable chair with a footstool that I can really read in here. But I realize I really need this room with all the cabinets because I have a lot of camera equipment I need to put away. I have craft supplies. I have sewing equipment. I like to do puzzles. If I have this, I can put out a puzzle and just leave it and enjoy it. I've been doing all my editing on a little lap because I don't have room for a monitor, but in here I could have my a monitor again. But just having the wallpaper in here, I think it's going to make me feel really cheerful. And I have that big closet that's up in my bedroom that I have shown a time or two that's just a mess. I feel like I need to get this room going in order for me to really accurately declutter that and just not assume that that's all clutter, because when you're in the process of decluttering, it's really easy to get carried away and really enjoy it, which I have done. I got rid of, it wasn't recently, but it was another time I decluttered, and I just was sick about it. I had a 1930s, 40s. It was an old version of The Secret Garden that had the original artwork in it that I found at a thrift store. When I was cleaning out my bookcase one time, for whatever, I don't know why I did that. That God donated, and I'm just sick about it. The odds of me finding that issue of Secret Garden again, which is one of my favorite books, is so low. So that's the kind of thing, I have made some mistakes like that. I gave too many of these sweaters away. I gave away my favorite green sweater like this, just because I got carried away and I was making a video and I got carried away. Because, I need to get it down. And I'm decluttering, I'm simplifying my life. But part of simplifying my life is to make my life more usable, to make what I'm doing more usable, that it's easier for me to come in and do things that I enjoy, not for me to get down to I have a suitcase worth of stuff so I can pick up and travel. That's not my life. My life is not that, and it's not going to be that. I have grandchildren to take care of. I have children that need to live here because it's it's too expensive to rent, and we have room for them. So that's not my life. So I need to enjoy, and I want to enjoy the life that I actually have and not get so caught up in what I'm doing on YouTube and the idea that I have to make a video that is like really popular and alter my life to a point that it's not enjoyable for me and I'm not happy. Not to get rid of my DVDs that I like and I like to go back and watch. That's just because I think I need to meet some kind of standard on YouTube. That is silly. But that's the kind of thing that will happen on social media, and YouTube is a form of social media. It will happen when you look at Instagram and you see what people are doing and how their pantries are just like all beautiful and all color coded and they have almost nothing, and then you think, oh, that's the way I need to be. Or you watch somebody decluttering. One thing you need to understand, if somebody has a channel that's just about decluttering and they're getting all the traffic and they're getting tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands or even a million views because they're talking about that, because that appeals to a lot of people, then they are committing themselves to that topic. And so they have to come up with new videos every week. And they have to be this example of someone who really doesn't have much. That is their thing. And so they're talking about that, because they have to talk about this. And I'm not faulting them. They're doing really well because they have focused on this one thing. It is suiting their life. If they're really happy with it and they're happy with their life and what they have, then good for them. But I had to unfollow some of those people because I was feeling too much pressure. And I was realizing that was making me unhappy. I understood why they were doing it, but then some of those videos make it feel like you should feel bad if you keep 2 bowls that you've inherited. You only need 1 bowl that you've inherited. You should not have 2 bowls. Well, what if you want to keep both bowls? I want to keep both bowls. So I was, maybe I'm just like a mentally worried person. I'm too easily influenced for a little bit, and then I start feeling bad about things and I have to pull back. I don't know. But I've said this before many times, and I'll probably keep saying it just forever, is only you can decide what level of belongings is comfortable to you. I can't decide that for you. A popular YouTuber can't decide that for you. Sometimes you deal with problems that are real in your family that disallow you from getting down to a real low amount. So I have 3 members of my family that have ADD. Not ADHD, but ADD. They have always had it. And so this is the kind of thing that happened. My husband and I don't share rooms. The reason we don't share rooms is, for one thing, I have a sleep disorder where I get woken up really easily. It comes with my fibromyalgia, and then it makes me sicker. One reason is because he has his ADD and he is so cluttery, and then he also holds on to things. He just does. It just feels really important to him, and I was up there complaining about how I leave things out. I'm nothing compared to him. His counters and everything are just everywhere. And when we were sharing a room, it was a point of contention because I couldn't live with that and he couldn't live with not having it. So I would try saying, you just put all your garbage in this one drawer. But if it would get in, and I have problems in the house where I have to periodically get all of his belongings, put it in a basket and put it on his bed, and then have him take care of it that way because I can't stand to look at it. And that's a way for me to get it done and we don't argue about it. I have closets upstairs that have his stuff, and he's collected that stuff and it's not organized, and if I try to organize it then he can't find it and he's not happy about it. So for my channel, it would be a good thing if I could go really organize those closets and those shelves, but I would create disharmony in my marriage if I did it. I have some shelves in those closets that I can organize, so I can take care of, but I can't do the rest. I deal with children and they leave their stuff around, and so I try to come up with ways of doing it. So my home is never going to look like some of these homes. It's just not possible. So I have to work on my own stuff, have my own level of what is comfortable for me, and get rid of things that I've purchased or have that are no longer serve me, and then keep the things that are meaningful to me. That is what I recommend that you do. Consider your family. I just don't think that you should should be decluttering other people's belongings. Unless they ask you to help them with that, I just don't think you should. I think it's not good. It encroaches on their rights, because people have the right to make that decision for themselves. So I can't, like, I have a YouTube channel. I've got to have my home look a certain way, so I can appear successful on this channel. That's not wise. I have that reality of my husband, who I love dearly, and his needs, which I have to consider along with my own needs. So here I am being really honest about what the situation is here. My advice to you and to myself is to know yourself. What are your needs? If you're decluttering, declutter thoughtfully. So know yourself, know your own heart, know how you operate, what's the best for you. Be considerate of your family. If you're a single person, you're by yourself, and you're decluttering and you're getting down, you're going to have completely different needs than I do with my circumstance. Let's support each other. Let's not criticize each other. And for heaven's sakes, let's all get rid of this idea that we have to do things a certain way to impress other people. If you haven't seen the last video on me, my laundry room is so beautiful. It's right up here.